Hey fishing freaks. I just spent the last probably 6 or 8 hours editing inside. It is so quiet in there without Stephanie and Winston running around farting and chasing his little toy. I just gotta get out of the house. We've recently had a little warm front come in here and we've got some really heavy winds, like 30 to 40 mile an hour winds right now. Gusts, sustained 20 to 25. I don't want to go out on the boat today. I just got to get out of the house though, so I'm going to do a little old-fashioned pond fishing. Now, wintertime pond fishing can be tough. Two of the hardest things that you can combine: cold water and muddy water. Cold, muddy water does not fare well with fishing, and if you're in a pond where the temperature can change more drastically, it's even worse. All right, I want to show you guys my little spinnerbait rig here. This is actually a 3/16 ounce spinnerbait, so I can reel this pretty slow. This is an old Terminator. I like this little Willow Colorado blade combo, chartreuse and white. I either go white, like pure white, or chartreuse and white in the winter. Like here's a pure white one, basically. Here's chartreuse and white. Water's probably gonna be dirty where I am, but spinnerbaits like this size are great for pond fishing. And I can slow this one down quite a bit since the water is going to be colder. And I'm also going to add a grub to the end. This is actually a packet of worms that one of you guys sent me. One of you fishing freaks sent me. You don't want to put a really big trailer on there because that'll interrupt the way the blades spin and how the bait sits in the water. It might turn to the side if you put too big of a trailer on there. So this one doesn't have much of an impact. And I always like to rig the tail down on these guys. That way it's just kind of thumping on the bottom. This combo right here, these blade combinations, for whatever reason, I get like the most bites on this combo right here. I think it imitates the sound of a shad the best. I'm also going to be throwing a lipless crank, a tiny lipless crank. I think this is like a 1/4 ounce. This is really small and it's red. Basically January through March, I like to throw red lipless crankbaits. Got some real tiny hooks on it. It's perfect for a little pond bass, but that is a reaction strike. The lipless crank, you just reel it fast and pump it and they just kind of react to it. They're tiny little brains, just can't help it. Check that sucker out. Okay, here we are. It is blowing, blowing, blowing. Now I'm at the north side of this pond here. We've got a south wind, so all the big waves are on the other side. It could actually be better on the other side since we got some water that's being pushed over that way. But I'm gonna try this side first since I can cast farther. Wow, this water's actually pretty clear. Looks pretty good. Oh yeah, I can cast a long ways with this thing. I'm just gonna try slow rolling this spinner. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Got a little snodgrass in there, a little algae growth. You ever get that on your lures? That's called filamentous algae. It's a lot better that it's green than instead of brown and black. It means that there's actually oxygen being produced out of there. All right, we're gonna give the old lipless a try here on this same bank for a little bit. Woo, and cast that a long ways. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna try to get this out. There is a crawfish leg laying in the water right here, or a pincher. Okay. Now that right there is why you throw red during this time of year. You know, bass will, they'll usually spit this part out. These pinchers, they normally try to rip these off. These don't digest very well, but they'll grab the pinchers, they'll rip them off, and then they'll just eat the body. So you can see that red right there, and that's why you throw lipless. All right, I'm going in. I'm just going to carry a spinnerbait and
my lipless crank. Got confidence in that lipless crank after seeing a crawfish in there, and we got some grass that's growing in here. So let's go walk around for a little bit. Okay, I'm decked out in my waders now. It's time to get wet. In we go. Holy tits. That is some silty stuff right there. Instantly, I am regretting this. I see some coots that are out there diving in some grass. That must be what they're getting in out there. If I can get over to that spot, that's probably some of the best grass in here, because I don't really see any other coots around. There's one. Got him. Got him. Got him on the lipless. Can't tell how big he is. He's running pretty good though. Oh yeah, decent bass. Come here, baby. Cold bass right there. Got him on just on the outside of the mouth. That is a pretty fish living in that clear water right there. Let you go back. See you, baby. Notice that fish never jumped. That's the nice thing about fishing January, February. The water's still cold. Number one, their mouths are a little bit harder, so usually you'll not lose them as much with those treble hooks, and then they don't come up and jump nearly as much. All right, let's see if we can get another one out of this little pocket. Fish was up pretty shallow. Sometimes you get these warm days and there's another one. Got him. Yeah. Sometimes they'll move up on these flats. Nice little boil there. Little bitty jump. Be trying. Yeah, you got it. Got it head first there. Tell when it's really cold, they get that redness on their lips right there. A lot of times that'll also mean that they've been eating crawfish. It's harder, something hard, and they kind of get calloused up right there. Like if you play a guitar a lot on your fingers. 2 casts in a row. So like I was saying, we get these sunny days, even though it's real windy today. We got a southern wind. It's gonna warm these little shallow flats up just a little bit. So if you've got a pond that's got a flatter area, a little pocket that's flat, those fish will move up there and feed during that warmer time when the water's just a few degrees warmer. They'll take advantage of that. See some of that grass right there? That's more what I was looking for. Some actual vegetation growth. And again, I'm just keeping the rod pumping, even if it's in open water. Some grass right there. Try to rip it out of there. This is just a reaction strike. I'm reeling it fairly quickly. I've got a high gear ratio reel. I'm just keeping it pumping. The rod tip high when I know I'm in shallower water to really keep the bait up out of the grass, and then when I know it's going to drop off, then I'll lower the rod tip slowly. All this grass right here below me is that algae kind of stuff. I don't want that. That just gets snagged up on your treble hooks. I want to get out there a little bit deeper where that actual grass was growing. Right around that good grass that I was trying to get to. I was like burning it. Snagged it. When you're reeling it real fast and they grab it like that, it just feels like you hit a log, even though he's not a nice one. Okay, I won't call you that. I'll just call you a little bit smaller than average. I was going fast with it. You see me whacking the lure against the water. That's just to clear the grass off of it. It's a lot faster than sitting there for 30 seconds picking the grass off. There he is. Oh gosh, it came off. He slammed it. Oh, there he is. Slammed it right off of that point. Oh yeah. He's got a little grass with him. Tried to dig down in that grass. That's what they're living in right there. Oh yeah, he absolutely ate it. Look at that. Beautiful. Love to see that. This one's gonna smell really sweet living in that grass. Oh yeah. See you, babe. I'm using a medium power rod, but it's a fast action. This is that Shimano X-Bride. It's got cross carbon tape on it, so it's a very fast blank, which is good for ripping these traps. You want a pretty fast action rod to be able to pull that trap out of the grass, have enough backbone to get them out of there. This stuff is getting really boggy, but I think we proved our point here today. A little pond fishing with the lipless crank. This water is actually pretty clear. Even though it was really windy today, I found a nice little corner where I could catch some bass on this thing. Even if it's cold, if you have that sunshine, warm up that grass a little bit, it really helps. And you can look for little shallow areas like this. It gets deep out there, it gets like 20 feet, but a lot of fish will move up in that shallow area for the days when it's warm. Old lipless crankbait, red color, hard to beat in the early months of the year. I just saw a snapping turtle that was about the size of Winston. About scared the turtle out of me. Well, that sure did beat sitting at the house. Putting those waders on was a huge help that allowed me to get out in the water and explore some areas that I really wanted to get to that actually had the good grass that I was trying to fish with that lipless crankbait. So a lot of you guys were asking questions about pond fishing this time of year, and it can be tough in cold, muddy conditions. I actually got lucky here, and this pond was still pretty clear from the recent rain. So you're good if you got clear and cold water, but cold and muddy water is really hard. That's when you really have to slow down and, you know, fish dark colored baits and just really go slow. It's kind of a grind. So hopefully that helps some of you pond fishermen that are having trouble early in the year getting some bites. If you guys want to follow me the rest of this week, it's going to be a pretty fun little excursion. I will be going on a little Central Texas Clearwater fishing adventure tomorrow, and then I'm flying up to Chicago to go to the Mystery Tackle Box headquarters. I do a lot of videos with them. If you want to see more like tip videos and like in-depth lure type videos, you can go subscribe to their channel and you can see me over there. I'm starting to do a lot of videos over there with those guys. They're probably one of my favorite companies to work with. They're just really cool, down to earth, and I've never been up to their facility, so I'm gonna go up there and check that out in Chicago. Then when I get back, I'm gonna go on a little fishing adventure with Mr. Grant, who you probably saw in one of the recent challenge videos. Maybe do a little swim bait fishing or some river flipping. So it's gonna be fun. Subscribe to the channel to check out the adventures the rest of the week, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.